But if anyone's understanding and looking at this on the surface, because let's be honest, a lot of people were watching this, maybe this fight for the first time, maybe don't know about the backstory. There is a reason for this. End of the day, though, you can't do that, right?
Sure.
You just can't do that.
Yeah, Ariel, I mean, if we can go in another direction here, but listen, you talk about the bus footage. Was that appropriate for the UFC to show? Absolutely. Don't ever rewrite history. If you're a storyteller where it's a promotion, if you're any member of the media, you tell the story the way that it happened. I could only imagine if Dana had left that out, how the headlines would come out that he didn't tell the story accurately and he was protecting his golden goose, so he throw the footage away. No, of course, you tell the story the way it's happened. But with that in mind, Ariel, how do you do a rematch from here? As terrific a business as I think it would be, as much as I would love to see it, if you were to tell this story in its whole, the highlight reel is just such a black mark on the sport. What do you go from the bus to the courtroom with Conor to a melee to the arrest? What do you do? I think perhaps they went overboard. You're hearing that from me. I don't even believe it. I think they might have gone overboard. I think they may be forced to give an opportunity to Ferguson to bring in some new blood, because I can't imagine the promotion and the B-roll. What are you and I supposed to do? Sit on ESPN and tell everybody, hey, buy this fight because once they attacked the bus and then he went to jail. Oh, and then, by the way, both teams were arrested. Isn't this great? I think it's a hard sell. I think they did too much.
Okay, and so let me expand on that. Remember moments after the incident in Brooklyn, Dana White came out and said it was the most disgusting scene in the history of the sport? Well, I wonder what he would say about this, right? I mean, this is arguably even worse. There's actual people, there's fans standing there, right? There's people involved in all of this. So now here you have a situation where there was no punishment, right? Nothing happened to Conor. Right, he had a plea deal, but nothing happened as far as the UFC is concerned. The fighter, the member of Khabib's team, and I think I know who it is, just based off of what I saw from up here, but I don't want to say the name because I don't want to be wrong here. I want to get that 100% confirmed. But if that's a member of Khabib's team who fights in the UFC, and we're calling for him to get cut, I think that's a double standard, right?
Oh, that's a little bit tough. But look, there was some double standards here. I mean, don't forget, Artem was part of the gang of 20, if you will, that attacked the bus.
Yeah.
We saw that as a bad action. We know that was a bad action because Artem was to fight the next night and had the fight pulled. And so we know that that action is going to cost you a fight from Artem. But it didn't cost Conor one. So if you're asking me if there's some, Ariel, I mean, I can't go around and deny it. I can't hide it. It's not always equal and it's not always fair. And ultimately, the fans went out if the fans want to see a rematch. But I thought that Dana made a very fair point when he was talking to Brett. When Brett said, well, is the UFC going to do something to change it? And Dana said, did you see all the security? We did make those. Did you see all the Metro Police? Did you see the guys in the back that are already in handcuffs? We're turning over video footage. We've done everything we can do. These guys behaved in a bad manner.
Sure, and also interesting to note that he said that the commission was holding on to their checks.
Yes.
And I mean, we know Conor was talking about a $50 million payday.
Sure.
And we know that Khabib was standing to make more than he ever stood to make before. From my vantage point, and he is no saint, and of course he ignited that situation in Brooklyn, it seems like Conor's hands are kind of clean in all of this. Like, as to your point, it looked like he was heartbroken just sitting there, right? He didn't even respond when Khabib was yelling to him. Did you see the same thing?
Yes, in the spirit of sportsmanship, and Conor is a sportsman, and Dana kind of even said that Conor said, that one's behind me. I'm sorry about I lost the fight. But Conor probably realizes, look, I attacked you and you attacked me. That may be fairness, and I'm speaking a little out of turn, but I trust that I'm right here.
For more Ariel and the Bad Guy, sign up now for ESPN+.